don't make it a crisis. Don't make it an emergency. This is not something that you have to wake up in the middle of the night and answer a phone call because it's an emergency. This is not something you have to rush for. If the results that you take, that you measure, are not what you expected, it's not a crisis. We don't got to call any hotline. We don't need any support yet. It's just feedback. We look at that and we say, okay, what happened this week? What led up to this? Do I know that the behaviors I partook in this week led to this result? Are they congruent? Like, does it make sense why it's here? Good. If not, let's dive deep. Let's get curious rather than make it a crisis. It's not a final report. You can change that tomorrow. You can technically change it today. It's not a crisis. It's not something that you have to just quit over. It's not something you have to get frustrated over. It's a snapshot in time. It's a momentary measurement, and it's not a crisis. So don't make it one. It's not an emergency, so don't act like it is. You have full control over your next few decisions that start to line you back up to the result you would expect to get. And even if you would have expected a different result, there's always some sort of an explanation. And you might not like it. You might not like the fact that you had a little bit of extra sushi last night that had a little bit more salt in the soy sauce, and that's why you retained a little bit more water before the measurements. You might not like the fact that you skipped out on a couple walks this week because it was a little bit cold, and then that didn't translate to as much change as you expected. You might not like the fact that you're holding on to a little bit more water because maybe you're inflamed for whatever reason. Maybe you got injured partly this week. There's always an explanation. There's always a reason. And it's never a crisis. You always have the opportunity to make another change, to take another step, to move in the right direction. But again, not if you act as if this is an emergency, it's a crisis. Because what happens in crisis, people panic. People make these panic decisions. They tend to blow things up. And I'm asking you not to blow this up. Not that you blow it up in the sense of making a mistake. Blowing it up is a giving up, getting frustrated, and starting to act in a way that doesn't line up with your goals because of that. So don't make this an emergency. Don't make this something that you have to stress over. Don't make this something that you have to change everything over. Don't make this a crisis.